good to see all of you face to face again. I know it was briefly in the spring, but this is good. It's starting to feel like normal. You know, as it pertains to COVID, because I know this will probably be a question, and you know, look, we've worked with the league, the NFLPA, the players have been great, and so, listen, we all know what's going on with the rules and as it pertains to vaccinations, and they've been outstanding, the players, and then us, the staff, working with them. So we're ready, and we're ready for practice. We're ready to move on. So we're good, man. I mean, we're ready for day one. This is about to be it's about to be real fun. So these guys showed up in shape. We're big, we're long, we look strong, we look explosive, and they crushed the conditioning test. So I'm pretty fired up about that. I mean, it was outstanding. I was extremely pleased with their output yesterday, and the beauty of it is they didn't have to say a word to let us know that, hey man, we're in. And all that shows us is that now we have a chance. We have a chance. So it's day one. Here we go. You know, but they're open to it. They're in tune, and they came back ready to go. So now let's see what we can do with them. You know, and now it's our turn as a staff to give them everything we can give them. So we're excited about that, and it's about to be good, man. I'll open it up to questions.
And a quick follow-up on the vaccination question. A lot of franchises are giving numbers on percentages of players vaccinated. Can you share where you guys are at?
I know we're over 80%, and I would say we're getting more as we go every day. I mean, every day that we've had our guys come in from the first group, and to the vets who came in yesterday, every day we get a few more. So it's trending the right way. It's been really good.
And then you guys were a little shorted on your practice time as a new staff this year because of some of the restrictions. So what kind of hurdles do you need to clear as you march forward with getting into the first preseason game?
Yeah, I tell you what, I was talking to a couple of our coaches yesterday, and we said it really at the end of spring, and I'd say it now. Man, I think of what we gained. I really do. I don't think of, oh man, we lost this, we are so much far. All I think about is, man, had we not had them, by the time we get to Pittsburgh, the second preseason game, we may get to where we got in the spring, maybe. So to be able to have those guys, for them to come in and put the work in, man, it gave us an opportunity. It gave us a chance to, man, get our legs under us, get this scheme under us, get our philosophy implemented with these guys. And so I think I look at it as a gain. It's a positive. Thank goodness, you know, it's worked out. So we're excited. We feel like we're in a good spot. Do we have a lot to learn and how we mesh with each other, and, you know, in golf with the receivers and our defensive backs working the coverage and communication? Absolutely. But man, we are miles ahead had we not had those guys in the spring.
Dan, I hope, first and foremost, you had a good week. And,
Thank you.
I just want to know now.
It wasn't, because it was moving, boxing up. But we're glad to be here. Thank you, though.
As you head into this process of training camp, what has you most excited over the next couple weeks?
Man, just, you know, I kind of told the team last night, there's a number of things that play into all this, and we know competition is the biggest, but really it's, man, enjoy this ride. Enjoy this ride we're on. We know this is high stress, man. It's about winning. It's about finding ways to win. It's about overcoming adversity. But man, enjoy this ride, because this will be the last time this team's together. Like everybody that was in this room, we all know because of free agency and the draft and all these things. So this is it, man. This is our month. Our months, but this is where you build. This is where you build your team, man. Your philosophy, what you're about. this sets the standard, the tone for how you're going to be able to endure the ups and downs of a season, and certainly to handle the downs, right? But we got to be able to handle the ups too, because we're going to have some of those, you know. But man, enjoy this. Enjoy everything about it. Enjoy the laughter. Enjoy the. I mean, Brockers, man, it was outstanding yesterday because we had 3 groups on the conditioning test. 3 groups of basically 18. And so they're doing it. Well, he was in the first group and he's done. Does a great job. Kind of catches his breath after about 2 minutes, and then he's just talking trash to the rest of the guys, you know, the next 2 groups. But I mean, it's fun. It just is. To know that you put in the work, you got it done, and now you can push your teammates and just poke at them a little bit. It's just the camaraderie. It's about being around the guys. It's about sweating. I mean, if you want something bad enough, you got to bleed a little for it, especially in this sport. And that's what makes it worth it. So enjoy that, man. Shit, enjoy the grind. Enjoy the grind of it. I mean, it's not for everybody. That's what makes it great. So that was just kind of one of the things that I think about. But I want to enjoy this ride, man. I want to enjoy being around these guys, man. I mean, there's no guarantee I'm going to be with some of these guys on staff after this year. Man, I'm going to enjoy this, and we're going to push it. You know, they're going to know what we want. It's going to be all, you know, circus or something, but man, we're going to enjoy it, and that's what I think of.
Dan, can you share your emotions this morning as you wake up, first time as a week 1 or first year training camp coach, and are you also talking to yourself about enjoying the ride?
I am, and my first thought was, man, I didn't sleep at all, but that's okay because I got plenty of energy without sleep, so. But yeah, I do tell myself that, and I want to tell myself that. And certainly it's a little easier in camp than it is once the season hits. You know, it's easy to say it now, but you know, when things come down the pipe, and look, everything that motivates me is about, all I think about is, man, how do I get these guys ready to perform, and how do I give my staff the best opportunity to be the best they can be? Like, that's all I think about. And you know, are we going to practice too much? Are we not going to practice enough? Are we going to hit enough? Are we not going to hit enough? Do we need to, you know, how do we need to set up the practice? How do we need to set up our installs for the coaches, you know, for the staff? That's what I think of. I don't let these guys down, man. I want to give them everything I have. That's what I think of. That's what really motivates me is to, man, make sure you give them everything you can give them. Give them opportunity to win freaking games, man. So that's what I think of.
You guys put mental skills, especially when all that stuff this offseason.
Yes.
Can you just explain that role and explain how and why you guys are addressing the mental?
Yeah, listen, we all know this, and I feel like every year we're a little more in tune for this, but so much of the way that particularly football players have been raised, or everything about the sport, is that you show no weakness. You show no weakness. And so, you know, for forever, you know, not knowing what it was or wasn't, you know, when you had a mental issue, it was, well, you're weak. And so you don't want to say anything. But yet, man, if you just got a little bit of help and you had the right resources around you, you could live up to your potential and then some. And so I think there's just been so much more that's come to light on this, and so that was one of the reasons we hired her. We thought it was important to have an outlet, somebody they can talk to, somebody that understands everything as it deals with that, and also as it deals with somewhat sports psychology, and because it makes a difference. And I kind of brought this up in my intro, but sometimes you never know what's going on, and you know, it's easy to say, well, he's just not right, you know, he's just not right, and we can't count on the guy. But there's always a reason why, and some of it's physical, some of it as it pertains to just mentally not getting the playbook. But what about the issues that are deeper than any of that we need to get to? You got to know, I mean, what's going on at home. shoot, man, if somebody come back into his life that was not good for him, or that was, there's just so many things that come into play, and we felt like it was important to address that and have a resource on staff that could help with that. You know, listen, we're all about top to bottom, not only the athlete and making them a better football player, but so much of that is, most of it is between the ears. And so how do we help them with that? That was one of the, and that's a credit to Brad too, really. Brad, that was one of the things he really wanted to attack this offseason.
Just a quick follow, Dr. Durbin's acquisition, proactive? I mean, does she seek out players? Is it just for players to seek out her?
No, it's more, it'd be more for players to seek out her, although she's been very visible. She's very visible. She spoke last night, and so she will be on site, and she will be able to, everything she's doing right now is just, she's trying to get to know the guys a little bit, introduce herself, you know, gain a little trust. That way, hey, so it's not like she's just totally going to be, okay, I'm just back here in this room and I'm not going to come out of here. And it's not like that at all. She's got access to our players.
Did you have 4 days of the acclimation period? What do you hope to accomplish in those 4 days before the pads come on next week and you guys really start to get after it?
I think just making sure that these guys do truly get their legs under them. And what I mean by that is, it's just, look, they're in really good shape, but now here we go. Everything is football movements, explosive movements. Now you're going to be blocking somebody in front of you, or shedding blocks and working your releases. And so, you know, you can train a certain way, which is good, and they have, but until you actually do football for, you know, basically an hour and a half after the walkthrough. It's a 2-hour practice, but it's really, you know, 30 minutes of it basically is a walkthrough. But I think just getting them acclimated. I mean, honestly, the reps aren't very high. We're going to have 40 reps these first 2 days. Total. That's between basically 3 groups. That's not a lot. I mean, our starters are going to get 16 reps. That's, you know, when the season time comes, they're going to be playing 60 plays, 65 plays, 70 plays. So, you know, we'll work them in. They'll have some individual. And so, but I think that's just, man, get their legs under them. You know, we'll be able to schematically work, you know, get our system in, because we'll have the afternoon walkthrough as well. But let's get their legs under them and get them used to this a little bit, because next week we're rolling.
New juice, new flavor. You know, obviously, it wasn't a lot of success last year. But do you look at that? How do you embrace that? This is the culture here. It wasn't a lot of success. You're coming in with, you know, not many people expect you to come in and win a Super Bowl right away. But how do you deal with that legacy of the franchise? Have you leaned on any other possible franchise that are broken through and kind of help you guide you through this process?
Well, I think a lot of it is just knowing. There again, I've been around some very good coaches. I was fortunate, and I've been around some real good players too. And I feel like that between myself and the staff that I've built, like, we understand what winning looks like and how to get players there. We understand players, how to motivate, how to push, and then we'll teach them the scheme. But man, just to get a swagger and attitude of confidence. And I think that's just going to go a long way, you know. And there again, man, we're going to give these guys, listen, we're going to treat them like men until they prove otherwise. I mean, I gave them 4 rules last night. That was it. My 4 rules. I'm sure you guys want to know what they are. Don't be late. Keep your weight in check. Don't disrespect your teammates. And don't disrespect this game. Those were the 4. So.
You mentioned you didn't sleep last night. Too busy, too excited, too nervous?
I think a little bit of everything. I actually went to bed thinking, you know, I was thinking about, we're going to work 3 situations this afternoon, talk through them, walk through them, in the afternoon walk through. And so I looked at one before I went to bed. And so, and actually it was just as simple as the victory at the very end of the game, Super Bowl 49, New England, Seattle, you know, and you're on the freaking 1-yard line, and your quarterback, all you got to do is nail it, and your game's over, right? And Tom Brady's in the end zone for the win. And you're like, well, normally victory, I'm just going to nail it. You nail down, you get a safety. And so it's just, but you think about little things like that, and it's like, well, what if Malcolm Butler, could he have intercepted that and then just fallen down the end zone? Or does Or is it just, man, he made a play and something happened? You know, so all these little scenarios go through your head. And I know that's been a while back. That was 2015, really. But anyway, that, and then just the excitement of the day. So that's just how, man, my mind goes, you know. But I'm excited.
Is that more guys? Just a quick follow-up. Is that different from the excitement you might have felt before your first NFL training camp or another big moment, first college camp, whatever it might be?
You know, I think it's really similar. You know, it's very similar. I think I always got excited as a player, but, you know, obviously this is different. You know, you're not going out there hitting and doing all those things. But I think it's every bit the same, you know, maybe a tick more because you do feel like, all right, man, this is your team. You oversee all of this, and this is your staff, and making sure it runs properly, and you're looking at your guys, and, you know, just making sure you're on top of everything. You know, it's like Coach Parcells said, man, you're a gardener, man, and this is your garden, and you cannot neglect one area of your garden if you don't water it, or if you don't pull the weeds over here, if you don't. So but also knowing it's all encompassing and looking at it and, okay, man, this is your garden. How are you going to handle this, man? If you don't handle it properly, it'll die. But if you manage it properly, this thing can flourish. So.
Hey Dan, you've had some time to digest getting your first head coaching job in the NFL. How has that maybe changed you, or how have you changed yourself since you got here and kind of got settled and gotten accustomed to it?
How's it changed?
Or changed you, or how have you kind of maybe changed since you got the job?
I don't know. I don't think it's really changed me at all. I feel like I'm pretty much myself. I don't really feel like there's anything to this point. You know, I know the season hadn't gotten here yet, but I don't, you know, there again, look, there's going to be bumps in the road, but I don't feel like there's anything quite yet that I've kind of been, oh man, you know. So I feel like I've been able to be myself, and I'm flowing pretty good. And there again, I've got a great support staff. I mean, even and it's not simple, but things like this, I mean, our support staff did a great job of setting up this training camp. But from everybody that deals with, you know, administration and ops and then obviously the staff, I've got a lot of good people around me that help me. And I've said it before, you're going to hear it a million times. You're only as good as the people around you. That's the truth.
One more question, guys. What does the first year of training camp for a coaching staff look like compared to years 2 and 3? Do you have to do things differently still with the install, or with just getting players familiar with your style or anything like that?
Yeah, well, look, there'll be tweaks that come. There'll be tweaks that come like next year at this time, just because you've been through it all together. And there will be some things, I'm sure, that we'll say, you know what, we could have done this a little bit better, or this would have been, I mean, it could be as simple as, hey, next year, why don't we start with red zone? That would be your number one, because it's less running. You know, that was one of the things we thought about. Maybe that's the smarter way to go. You start in the red zone. That's day one practice. It's not as much running. You know, but there'll be things that we'll tweak a little bit, but I think just our core foundation won't change of what we are, who we are, how we're going to go after it, and I think we'll be what we are, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. By the way.